over towards Tambang, Seagulls on their opposite end of things in Bantai, with Shockwave over towards Kampong. Those are the three teams we will be watching. Asia Mix already takes a knock as they hot drop over towards Far Voice on the Northwest Island.
2 knocks as well. There is an answer to it, but they're coming through thick and fast. Unfortunately, I think they've already taken a flush there. Inaus has a nade sent his way, but stays alive for the time being. Retro, he spotted the angle with the M4. He's got a little bit of power on these early drops, but there's some shotguns, there's other rifles as well in play. Needs to land a spray onto Luna, but can't quite connect it. Forced to go for the reload around the edge now. Goes low, but there's a hop out wide, and the shotgun slams down the Law. An Asia Mix shut out. Just Keme left.
Far Voice, but it's Inaus looking around the side. Keme has to do a lot with this UMP, but no meds or anything to work with. The res is coming through. I think Far Voice might have just won out this fight against Asia Mix, who have not been the same since that one little engagement they had with T-Spirit in boot camp, where they got completely locked down as a fort. Circle over towards that eastern side, so both Eagles and Dagestan will have to move in. Shockwave are controlling Kampong and Lakawi quite nicely, though.
Spray down. Keme still trying to heal. Not going to happen. You're done, so. Asia Mix out from our final Sandhawk. They have 3 more maps left to play today. Let's see what they can develop for themselves for the future, because it is full practice mode now for a lot of these teams in the lobby. It's only a question mark for 3 of the teams as to what's going to happen at the end of this one. With no money on the line, ladder up's not as important. It's all for the pride of it. And one for all,
yeah,
they're playing with pride right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more amusing action, a lot more engagements taken all over the place. I think for a lot of teams, they realise that they are completely shut out. This could have been a very different tournament in the case where it was much closer, but I think with Dagestan, Shockwave, Eagles and Team Spirit all in this lobby, it was sort of difficult to lock them out. You sort of locked a lot of teams in a cage with 4 lions, essentially. So, difficult proposition to be in.
Yeah, pretty tricky. I did message the developers and I asked them to give One for All a point officially, and they said, "Who are you?" So I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. They are just going to be denied that. Maybe they'll get it here, though, against Blue TM.
Possibly. I mean, they're very close by. It's over towards that northwest side. AA Academy still yet to move in, and Far Voice Gaming with their 3, looking to maybe cross the river. Just looting some of the compounds in that area first. I'll wait for our stage 2 to really confirm where a lot of this is happening. Flavius down right off the bat of things.
Ooh, King down as well. Black now with a chance against Garcia on the door frame. Is he going to get the point? He does. Confirm it. Add that one to the tally. We're up to 49 already. One for all now. Continue their trek against Blue Tiam with 3 players to deal with. Smarty on the high ground, staying safe behind the door frame. Hop in, not spotted. Black is going to lose his teammate once again. Now hits the reload. Tommy gun around the corner. Ooh, go away nose. He's only got 8 bullets left. Has to go for the pistol. Crawling, shimmy to the other side of the window frame. But I feel like go away nose and the pistol through the window. Hops on in. Love to see it.
Yeah, blasting back with the old pistol action there. John Wicks him to death. Canadian Power versus 17-15. Again, there's just going to be a ton of action going on in our matches now. A lot of teams realise this is more puggy than anything. That is a very amusing drop-off on the nade.
Another? Oh, I thought that was on Tabana, but a little bit long on that arm. Budussi with the cook and more nades. Ordnance just pouring into 17-15. You cannot get out of the quarry that easy. Gentle has a lot of danger sent his way, and there's the spray down. Budussi, there's a player beneath him. I don't know if there are knocks, but Tornado has the challenge. A drop down. 180. Slick with it. Budussi closes it down.
Yeah, Budussi consistently been like one of the better players here on Canadian Power. Has had some moments for himself as well, which is really nice to see. Unfortunately, Canadian Power weren't able to ramp things up. They have had not a bad tournament, currently 107 points after those 4 elims are added to their tally. And they have been particularly dominant over towards Miramar, consistently getting up towards the top of the tables on that map. So again, for Canadian Power, it might just be a case of revising some of their gameplay over towards Sandhawk and Arangle. But yeah, a strong team that just didn't quite make it.
Academy. They're still entrenched over on that northwestern side. They're picking through the remnants of the fight between Far Voice and Asia Mix right now, and they are slowly moving their way south. yet to make it to the island, the only team yet to make that move. Actually, no, wait, Big Baby still just between Sami and Bantai. Far Voice, they are picking up the pieces from their scrap. They were able to keep 3 of their players alive, I believe, and they will be getting on with things. Luna pretty low, but we'll be able to pop those bandages on. Pretty low on supplies there, it has to be said, for Far Voice. They're not going to be too happy about that.
No, not at all. Far Voice just gone from bad to worse on their side of things, but they're still taking names, taking shots over towards Brothers in Arms. Marcio goes down for him. Almost shifting into stage 2 now. Most teams are in the circle. Dagestan got slightly ahead of Brothers in Arms. They've headed over towards a position on the north side of Quarry. Team Spirit do take a knock, but I think that should be resable.
Effect is close by enough to Kitsune to go for that res. 88 Academy, can they take that opportunity to push the back of Team Spirit? Doesn't look like they're going to be able to just yet. The rest hasn't come through yet. Big Baby, they did take off from Bantai, I think all the way on the south side. They're rotating around. I'm not entirely sure which direction they're going. It would be crazy to go north, so I'm almost certain they're going to go past docks on the southeast side. We'll see them pop up soon. Dagestan, very central now, right? They're pushing into a center position. Shockwave a little bit further out on the edge, close to the Eagles, so potential for that southeast side to come to a head and really define who has a chance of overtaking Dagestan.
Yeah, it took a knock as well there from Canina Power. We're able to res it up. There is compounds over towards that north side, which are pretty priority, and because they were able to slip on through past quite a few teams like Brothers in Arms and Far Voice Gaming, they might be able to get themselves into a strong spot early in this game.
Canina Power still taking the fight. Star Esports slowly trekking their way towards one of those junction compounds on the north edge. Team Spirit still on the south boot camp split. Those hills, that high ground, they don't want to give it away just yet. They can still control 88 Academy going for that crossing. Canina Power, this is the team that's been giving a lot of trouble towards Dagestan, but they've taken a knock, and the Eagles are here to play. They want to close that gap between them and Dagestan as well, just as Shockwave were able to do in the previous match. But if they go for this fight, Shockwave can third party. They're in a position to make that possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstab potential here onto S-Eagles. Perks is in a really dangerous spot where if S-Eagles just peek over the top side of the hill, he's the only player up there. The rest of the squad is down towards the compound that sits on the roadside. So he's just providing a little bit of cover towards the back end of things. He did get a teammate that rotated up to assist him. You can see him there on his north side in Kaya.
Big Baby, they tried to go for the botation, but Shockwave have caught this. And Shockwave, they were in a position to third party, but they spotted 4 points out in the ocean, and that is the gap. That's the gap between them and Dagestan, remember? With 4 swimmers, if they can pick these points up, they are dead level. I think Dagestan win out on the tiebreaker with them able to get a couple of chicken dinners on the cards. But Shockwave adding another one. Hang on a minute. No, I think actually with Shockwave taking that last chicken dinner, they would win out the tiebreaker. They've already found 2 of these points. Can they get the other 2?
Yeah, I mean, for Shockwave, they've had plenty of chicken dinners during this tournament with the amount of times they've had center. Arabelle taking a lot of shots there. The blue will push them in. They did get the knocks through as well, so get the confirm on the flushes. Good to go. I think they realised the blue should just do the trick.
There's still one more out in the water, though. It does get taken. I think that's blue zone. Yeah, as you see, Baban goes down there, which leaves Shockwave only on the 2 eliminations, actually. Only the 2 points they found, but Brothers in Arms are here now. They've moved in, they heard this, and they've slinked their way up that east coast and into the watchtower. Unfortunately, they're all in the same exact position, which means that return fire, fairly trivial for Shockwave to enact.
Shockwave does need to move, though, eventually. I mean, the circle's closing, so we'll head to stage 3 soon. And right now, with them playing down towards Lakawi, this is an awkward spot to play with so much oversight on it. Wondu wants to have some kind of impact on this fight from the north side of Lakawi. Maybe he could bridge over top of the ridge there and then maybe get some shots through towards Brothers in Arms. But yeah, Shockwave right now locked in. So 2 teams, locked in engagements, Canina Power versus S-Eagles and Brothers in Arms versus Shockwave.
Yeah, but we're on board with Strangers and Getso over in Paradise Resort. And looks like Brett just slowing things down. No real action taking place here. Not just yet, no knocks found. And for Strangers, do you want to go aggressive? It seems like they do. Ked and Lonely on that side swipe angle. If there's an improper cross going on, it could catch it very nicely. Circle up towards the north side. No knocks just yet. Lonely has the nade and still carries that cross. Carry Boy actually sprays down onto Wonder. He said he wanted to have an impact over on the east side, but he's not going to be able to. Shockwave are losing players. This is the worst time for that to happen.
Yeah, not great. Not great at all. Canina Power just dip out and they'll head towards that compound on the southern edge. So leave S-Eagles behind, but towards those ridge sides. Canina Power actually making a hell of a crash towards Star's position. That was an insane rollout with no scouting at all, just a blind push.
And they're dead because of it. I don't think Zero survives this. It would be a miracle if he finds anything here. Gets a knock, but I mean, what do you expect? You go into a compound that's dead center of this circle, that was pretty central on the previous circle. There's going to be someone there. You just can't do that. You just can't. And that is a big misplay from Canina Power.
Yeah, she forgot to scout out the potential targets on that side of the map.
They deny the points to the Eagles, though. Canina Power doesn't go down to them.
Yeah. There was a very easily playable compound just ahead of them as well, so I'm not sure why they didn't go there.
They could have just stopped instead of kept going.
Yeah. Star has very little supplies, though. They looked fairly weak when it came to, the vests, the helmets.
They just got delivery, though, so...
They did, actually. You're not wrong. Full team delivery, yeah.
They had it airlifted in. That was pretty successful. God, I wish I had that in my Pubg Mobile games. That'd be great. You'd be like, oh, you need some ammo and like nades and stuff? Yeah, we got you, bro. Just roll on straight into my crosshairs. That'd be nice.
It feels odd for Brothers in Arms. I mean, Shockwave have lost 2 players, but more than likely Brothers in Arms are going to go down for this play. So Shockwave, they hold out Big Baby, but by doing so, they're being held out themselves. And again, this fight from Brothers in Arms is taking awfully long to conclude. They're not likely going any further than around about 9th place because of this, which is quite amusing. So Shockwave is getting ruined off the back of a team sort of sacrificing themselves for a couple of points.
I'm surprised that I'm not too sure why Shockwave don't have 3 points. Oh, they do now. Woodson goes down. Goodness me. I was surprised that they didn't get 3 points, though, because I felt like they got 3 knocks out to the players in the water, but they only managed to get 2 of the points for it. Maybe one of them tagged on the blue and took the knock that way and then bled out underwater.
It took too long. So in between their shots, I think they were able to tag 2 of the players like pretty recently before they went down, and then 2 players hadn't been tagged for a while, so they just drowned, and no one got any points for that.
That's sad.
I mean, that would have been a nice crash for Canina Power if it worked out with this circle, with Star now holding a huge amount of space, and Dagestan has played this game very quietly down towards that southwest side, but now they have to move.
It is their big move as well, right? They've got the Eagles close by to them who are chasing, remember, still they're 15 points behind them in that second place position. Dagestan outside of the zone, allowing 88 Academy to get ahead of the curve on them. Ooh, Shockwave take a knock. That is unfortunate. Just 1 point shy of Dagestan's tally right now. They are going to go in with just Ragnazada, who, to be fair, if there's one player left, you do want it to be Ragnazada. He has been an absolute terror in this lobby over the last 4 days, and continues to be so. I think he's second MVP right now, just behind Nomi from Team Spirit.
Yeah, Ragnazada has been fantastic. Magnum finds Luna. Will immediately confirm that flush for Dagestan. Is over towards that northeast side. I think those are shots coming through from S-Eagles now as well.
Far Voice have an angle. Dagestan moving Shifu out to scout as well. Brothers in Arms clashing with Getso. It's not going well. Getso going to shut this down. Team Spirit as well out on the western side, rolling over. But Go Away does get an answer, and Kitsune goes down as well. Okay, danger on the northwest edge for Team Spirit.
Limbo Boom back in the mix. Just going for some scouts over towards Far Voice, trying to provide information of where the nades need to go for the team. As Shifu starts to cook one up of his own. Nade lobs in, Shifu has to duck wide, and his nade gets thrown off kilter because of it.
Far Voice Gaming right now is the only thing that's holding this fight back between the Eagles and Dagestan. Limbo Boom getting close with the buggy now. The south side is getting dangerous. This is a fight for second place. Shockwave did get eliminated fully. They are now 2 points behind Dagestan. If Dagestan go down here, there is a chance for Eagles to push both of the two teams ahead of them out of the way, depending on how far they can go, because start is the major hurdle in this lobby after this.
Shifu, one nade now remaining. So scarily close here to S Eagles. Magnum just slowly pushing in, proning down. He was sort of that big moment for them on that side.
Onto
Tries to not create a load of noise by doing this. Still can have a big impact in the game.
Shifu with an aid onto S-Slam. Limbo Boom traded off. Immediately it all pops off. Far Voice is still here. They are on the inside. Another nade up towards Limbo Boom, and Rolex looks to confirm. Will not find it, but takes a lot of that health bar away. Another nade over towards the back lines, and Shifu wants to step up now. OMG behind the tree. There's danger on his right-hand side. Rolex is there. Devil is there as well. Rolex from the bush. Finds one. Now Magnum steps up for the fight. DBS tags a little bit of damage. Doesn't quite get it done. Not the whole way. Devil, smoke is blooming, and Rolex backed off yet again. Shifu not res just yet, but Eagles are on 3.
That could be a nasty nade over towards him.
That's it. Huge opener over towards Rolex and Devil. I'm surprised OMG didn't go down. Now Far Voice to try to step up. I now just turns away. He's like, no, I'm good. I'll see you guys later. Dagestan putting up a fight for their second place. They are stalwart in their defense. Can the Eagles get back to their feet?
I mean, the Blues pushing in. I wonder if they can even pick these players up at this point in time. Dagestan do need to be careful about this. They're literally all on their right side, and they seem to have no idea where they are. Limbo Boom gets taken down because of it. Magnum, though, managed to get something done. OMG, 1 HP.
Zadira able to hold his nerve, and that shuts the Eagles away. They put them down, and that is beautiful news for Dagestan. Sure, they're playing as 2, but they can breathe for just a moment longer. They'll go into the next match, not free of worry, but they will have a chance to rack up more points here.
Yeah, massively. I mean, they're kind of out of the picture as well for a lot of teams, and getting into a top 5, top 3, possible now for Dagestan, but versus the wide split from AA Academy, you wonder how possible. An awkward fight for them with 2 effective teams around them playing a 4v6 there.
Dagestan going to get both of their players back up. The big question mark on this match is how many points can Dagestan get, right? Shockwave finish on 169. Dagestan started on 170. They've got 4 eliminations so far. The more points they can put up as a buffer, the better, of course. They want more than 4. Start Esports on their wide split. It's working out.
For Dagestan, they do have a really good position down towards the southeast side. The question is whether 88 Academy start to move over this way. They understood roughly where Einaus has gone. There's only really one position he could have played in, which is this shack that sits down towards the south side, so they're mollying it out right now. Luckily, Einaus is able to get to the backside of it. Magnum's forced to play behind this rock.
There's not going to be a lot left. Yeah, you can see no nades, no mollies, no smokes even for Magnum. But they definitely know that Einaus is in here. Oh, he spots the peak. The weapon swap. Magnum's like, if he goes for that again, I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna take him down now. But Einaus could also draw some attention from Star Esports. So they're trying to move in, but strangers behind them. Star Esports ahead of them. 88 Academy now on the radar for Magnum across the way. Shots going back and forth. Simitana looks to try and close things down on that northwestern edge. And gets so still going. The strangers actually bear the brunt of it.
Yeah, nice shot from Zadira, actually catches out Einaus inside that shack. So up to a top 4. 3rd place would be ideal. 2nd place would be really good. But versus AA Academy, who are now starting to push over that ridge side. It feels like the days are a little bit numbered here for Dagestan.
The The one thing that they've got going for them in this position is that Star are playing a wide split. If you find an opening, you can storm on in. The question I have, though, is how much utility do Star Esports have? That is a shift that takes them over towards 8-8 Academy here. This is potentially good news for Dagestan.
It's great news for Dagestan because it means that 8 Academy aren't likely to push this ridge on their right side. They'd rather just sit in this position. Very close from Semtenar. Before that almost hits on. Ked trying to stay alive, and there's that push out. Zadira gets knocked, and now Magnum needs to play a very slow game.
Playing in the shadow of Star Esports as well. He's close by to their compound. He's getting a bit friendly to the north side as they are up into that third place. Already guaranteeing themselves another 5 points, which would put 11 points between them and their closest rival.
Well, they spot him. Yeah, I think Magnum might be going down shortly.
Come the nades.
But a third place is not bad. I think a third place for Dagestan, for where they were playing, for the fights they had to take, that is really good news. Circle shifts over towards 8 Academy, and the game that felt certain for Star now goes in the favour of 8-8 Academy.
Well, taking a bit of damage, and if Peachy goes down, there's that side opening. Magnum, okay, he denies the point. Just gives up the ghost and goes out in third. That puts Dagestan with their points tally at 180 now. Star Esports trying to run out. Ragnar catches one. Simitana's next to go down. Default next. Last up is Shu. Is he going to be able to find anything? Does have a low HP target on his off angle, and a 1 versus 3 is possible, but there's nades, and there's no way you get away from this. Surely you find something. But it's the bullets from the distance to be able to close things down, and it is 8-8 Academy to stop the match in its tracks. But Shockwave not able to do too much from that southeast side. They were baited out to the water, closed out by Brothers in Arms. S-Eagle squad took the fight with Dagestan, couldn't win it out. Dagestan not out of the woods just yet, but they hold on for a moment longer.
Yeah, for Dagestan, not a bad game from them. Much needed match as well. I believe it was around about 9 points they're able to accrue on that game, 10. So not bad. Yeah, themselves 5 placement points from third place and the 5 elims. So for Dagestan, push themselves a little bit further ahead, and with both Shockwave and S-Eagles not getting a huge amount done in that game, that's really big news. Also, them winning the fight versus S-Eagles is very important. So they're doing the right thing here. But we will be heading towards our 4th match coming up very shortly, and only a 10-point lead. It's so close right now for Dagestan.
It is down to the wire, and it's nice and exciting getting on, and we would be happy. Are they going to have a hot drop on their hands? Eagle's going to leave them. I think Shockwave, yeah, they're going to break up to the north side as well. So not going to see any crazy hot drops coming through onto these 3 teams, the 3 important teams. And another hard shift. We're going to the east this time, keeping the Pubg in, that mansion area, going to be a major factor of this next circle.
Yes, we're at our western circle at the very beginning of our day today, and now we're heading over towards our east side. Canadian Power nice and central over towards this position. Dagestan playing over towards apartments, and S-Eagles not challenging them in that position, which did cause some problems. I think Dagestan has been challenging quite a lot of their spots the last few days, and understandably so, considering teams would like to chase that team. They are the only attainable team at this point in time to get ahead of, with Team Spirit being far too far in the lead. For Dagestan, this is not a bad position to start your game. I mean, both S-Eagles and Shockwave are quite far away from the circle, have a lot of movements to make before they get themselves in, whereas Dagestan can comfortably loot up towards apartments, get their vehicles, and then move further towards that central side of the map.
Brothers in Arms. We did have a deduction over towards Brothers in Arms. If you're wondering about their score total, they did have 11 points docked, I believe, from their totals for not running the anti-cheat that is necessary for our competitors. So they've been naughty, and they are getting punished for it, rightly so. Fortunately, they'll be able to play on. have another chance to regain those 11.
Yeah, get them back on board after they had a very, very hard gatekeep over towards Bros in Arms early on in the game. I think Big Baby, actually. Yeah, so I think for Shockwave, they need to maybe have something a little bit stronger here for themselves from Severny. Certainly possible. They have the Kameshki rotate they can make over towards Mansion or even just over the top side of the lake here. So easy enough in terms of a rotational path here for Shockwave. Not so much for S-Eagles, who are so far out of the way on the southwest side of the map.
They really are. Obviously, they just have always been dropping in Primorsk, and well, not obviously, they are dropping over in Primorsk. Depends if you've been keeping up with the drop spots. But yeah, they've got a long road ahead of them. Team Spirit are in their way. This scrap with Blue TM and 1715 is also in their way, which could go either way between these two teams. But at the moment, 1715 bearing the brunt of the damage that's coming on out. Blue TM. Yeah, they win this engagement. 17-15, not going to re-engage on this one. One for all a little bit further on. Phantom with a chance. Jump spot. God say on. I don't think... Are they aware? Do they know? Do they think they checked it?
Yeah, he's so close to the wall, jump peeking, it doesn't really work as well. He could step out here. I mean, they're both getting in the vehicles, but it's opting to play it slow.
Oh, is he? No, I thought he... No. There's one player left. Godsayer. Oh, no. A slow rollout could be the death of him. Not even going to do that. Phantom, living up to his name. Quiet as a dormouse.
Yeah, doesn't even try for it. And I think he knows the camera's on him as well. Just a little peek outside, and he gets away with his life. 3 players, it's not bad for 17-15. They get to play on a little bit further into this match. Team Spirit already making their move out from farm, as Canadian Power have a very hard split going on up towards Heaven's side and down towards Shelter, and could get caught off guard by Team Spirit's quick rotate in towards Circle. But looks like they're already making their move at the moment.
Good one. Slam into that south side of Canadian Power. Let's see what you got. I want to see some fireworks from Team Spirit, right? Celebration in these matches. See what they can do. They've already got a 10-point average over the tournament. So if you add on for 24 matches, they've already got over 240, which would be their 10-point average. See how much further they can push that. To get 11 points average would need 264 points. So we'll see if they can make that work for them.
Yeah, tough approach for Team Spirit to get towards the 12-point average with only 3 games remaining. But yeah, they really don't have to even play at this point in time. They could have the chillest laid-back games. But I think for them, it's more about right now continuing to test out this new playstyle from themselves, new gameplay coming through from them with Matic on side. So again, because they don't really have to worry about teams catching them anymore, this can be more about, well, what kind of weird rotations do we want to make? What kind of positions would we not usually assault that we can try and test ourselves on? Which is very, very nice for Team Spirit going into PMSL in terms of just being like, right, we can now just experiment a little bit.
What is interesting though is because this is broadcast, right? People are going to be able to watch all of this back and have all of this information on Team Spirit coming into PMSL, right? So there's a lot of potential for things to be countered by them, which means that potentially also Team Spirit are looking to try and hide some stuff and get a little bit weird with it. Like you say, try some strange rotations that maybe they'll be able to pull out on an off chance, but that they're not going to be playing as a mainstay spot.
It's funny though, because a lot of their plays that they've made feel more like just plays that only Team Spirit could have made in those moments. Like a lot of the stuff that led to their big games was a case of we need to outplay our opponents, we need to make this dangerous call, and that's not stuff you can really counter. Sure, you can look into their rotations, that's about it really. A lot of their end game stuff that has looked fantastic has just been them really cleaning house with the lobby, which is nice to see for Team Spirit, because we do see this team do extremely well. A lot of people have eyes on them. A lot of people are happy to see this squad, but there's a lot of moments where it all goes wrong, which it felt like it was doing at the very beginning of the qualifiers, but quickly that changed. As you can see now, they are far up in the top of the leaderboard.
They are eclipsing everybody else on their points totals. Oh, back up to the bridge. Let's have a go. Far Voice Gaming actually have brothers in arms on the other side of it who are guarding them out right now. And so it begins. Oh, hang on a minute. Eagles have been found. Brought back down to earth there by the south point of... What is Kitsune doing?
Scouting?
Don't worry, guys. You do all of that north bit of Milta. I've got the whole of Milta Power to myself. It's chill.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, scouted this out and no one's here. If we get a southeast shift, they have an easy anchor point.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, there you go.
There you go. There's your easy anchor point.
What is going... I mean, sure. Absolutely. The Eagles take a knock, and it looks like they want to run it down with Matic getting bold. They are definitely playing a little bit more loose right now. It looks like there is a regroup, though, from the Eagles to try and hold this one at bay.
Yeah, even so, they're on the edge of the circle now, been slowed down on their rotate. Team Spirit has a rough idea of where they are. They do need to regroup with Kitsune, though, because he has a strong spot in the circle.
Not on his own, though. He can't hold it.
It needs to be re-strengthened.
Yeah. The spot is strong. The number of players, not so strong. And Big Baby might try and do something about it over on the east point.
Yeah, he's calling for assistance from his teammates. Strangers find Morris out in the open, fair enough. Dagestan also quite central. They're able to get into the circle, like you said, starting from apartments. They've got a really good shot into the circle itself. Shockwave, on the other hand, have to battle out on that northern side, and over towards the western edge, S-Eagles have to do the same. So again, an opportunity here for Dagestan. Unfortunately, close the guys from Team Spirit, which is the only struggle.
I think Team Spirit were potentially thinking about going for the crash onto the Big Baby compound, but because Dagestan were close by, they decided not to go for it. They've still got Nomi out slinging around on that western side, seeing what you can find out towards that lumberyard hill that sits just to the west of this area. Gathering that intel. They obviously know that Dagestan are going to be here, but Limbo Boom going down. Again, this is just, it seems like such a struggle for Dagestan to keep hold of this second place right now. Time and time again, they have something taken away from them. They're playing on the back foot constantly.
Yeah, which is difficult, and they're just about managing to live on. And I think some of those moments have been helped by the fact that Shockwave has not had the greatest games, or S-Eagles gets caught out. They win some important fights versus S-Eagles as well, but lose some too, especially on that Miramar where S-Eagles made for a bit of an interesting play, which they'll have to go up against next game. So that's something to consider.
Can't be too liberal with that ammunition there, Kitsune. He's not got a lot left. This is the slowest bridge crossing you have ever seen in your life. They have been on this bridge since the start, since about halfway, certainly before this zone started to close. And Brothers in Arms, it feels like this is all they want to do, right? Just find a team and say, you're not playing the rest of this game. We're not either, but you're definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of these situations where two teams will just hold each other out for ages, and now Brothers in Arms attempt to get away. There's some shots coming through from Inows. Luna makes the move, but there's two players still here. Good bait from Brothers in Arms.
17-15 are here to play as well on the north side. I think they might divert, not third party this, given the circle shift straight over towards Kitsune's anchor point for Team Spirit. Nade in. Luna didn't manage to find her way through. As Woodson drops the smoke out wider. Wants more leeway as Luna gets flushed.
I mean, with Team Spirit, they're basically playing the exact same split we saw Dagestan take on their 31-point game. Which is, I mean, you can always learn something from another team, that's for sure. It's getting extremely hectic now as S-Eagles wrap around towards the central location of Milta Power. No real contest either coming through from any other team.
Dagestan picking up some points potentially. Shockwave take a knock to a nade over on the northwest side. There's a lot of fighting going over for Shockwave as we keep going on with this with this scrap on the end of the bridge. 2 players make it through for Far Voice. Dagestan, they're holding this tiered compound, generally quite strong, but they're playing it as 3, which really severely diminishes the strength of the hold here. So it could be dangerous for Dagestan. I'm interested in what Shockwave are doing right now, because they are on 1 player remaining, though. Over on this northwestern side, it has gone pear-shaped for them.
Yeah, they were getting fairly obliterated by One For All. There's S Eagles popping off versus Canina Power as they attempted to get in underneath them on that southern edge. Start quickly, T-Poker takes an amazing spray. In fact, that was almost on target, but consistent shots coming from Asian Mix means he can't hold the angle for too long. And 17-15 make quite the wild rotation and get into the circle.
1-2 for Shockwave, last player to stand, gets out of dodge, gets away from it. Meanwhile, over in Lipovka, they're still in there. 8-8 Academy and Getso clashing. Back and forth right now, 2 players up for either team. They're playing 2 versus 2. The Bison not able to connect, finally able to turn the corner. Hops straight on through the other side of the window, back on in. He can't decide if he's in or out. He's playing hokey-cokey with them. And the 8-8 Academy can't quite learn their lesson. Stepping up to knock Cloud on Abito. It's dangerous. Ragnar, though, he wants more of it. He wants a challenge. Not going to work out. Abito shuts it out.
Yeah, nice shots there coming through from Getso. Very, very well done. A quick cleanup and a very much needed quick cleanup, because they need to start moving into the circle down on that south side. One For All in front of them and being pushed in by the blue. It doesn't look too hopeful for this team. S Eagles, though, awesome rotation, really clean, slipped underneath absolutely everybody towards a central spot in the circle on Milter Power. No one's been able to challenge them all that much, and this might be a big game just off the back of position here for S Eagles.
On that Milter Power position, will Canina Power be able to challenge? I mean, could you give Team Spirit any more here, though? They have got the exit road, plenty of leg room. They're taking a knock, actually, maybe. A little bit of danger for them. Over towards the cooling tower.
I mean, for Team Spirit, that anchor point from Kitsune was sort of unreal. He had a clairvoyant moment where he saw into the future, which was cool to see. And it has afforded Team Spirit an incredible spot to be playing in. And Dagestan realised they need to move further in, so they make their rotate as 3. I think they're heading up over towards the coastal side. Oh, dangerous maneuvers.
We're looking at the ragtag fight, though, between One For All and Getso. On the egress from Lipovka. Black with spray down, should be able to find Lonely. There it is. Able to track that one down. And now for Abita. Next up on the menu. Not Glad trying to get away as well. He goes back up into the blue. Lipovka, he didn't want to leave. He doesn't want to move out.
Yeah, this is a awkward retrieval of a game. And I mean, again, that is just how it goes. Dagestan, though, getting torn to pieces by Team Spirit as they attempt to find some kind of place to stay. S Eagles remove Star. That's now up to 2 elims now. Dagestan had to push off Team Spirit down to 3 players after their knock and flush coming through from Dagestan.
Yeah, I think that was... who was that who went down? It was Effect who goes down on Team Spirit. Still 3 players on the spread that they've got. This is real frisky. In the meantime, Strangers holding out King. Black and Flavius further out in the distance. And the lead continues to pour up the coastline. Shots from Asia Mix towards Strangers, and they may need to be getting on with things fairly soon as well, because they're going to have to shimmy in along the coastline, potentially, or crash onto Big Baby further down to the southeast.
Overall swimming it. I don't know if this is going to last for too long for this team. Again, a lot of teams just sitting out on the edge, not getting too much done yet. Holding out other teams, unfortunate to say the least. Stranger have to make a quick push in, all in one vehicle. We know how this goes.
Pops out, spray for 1, and maybe a second. Okay, puts that one to sleep. Matic, I think, may have taken a point there. Not too sure. 2 eliminations found for Team Spirit. They have Wondu on the coastline. There's a crate out there. Does he know? Does he know there's a swimmer? He's probably going to be aware that there could be. The coastline fighting will definitely spook them a little bit. But how far can Shockwave go? And can Dagestan weather this one?
Yeah, it's a difficult game. I think I'm mostly looking at S Eagles because the position they have really speaks to me of a large game coming their way. It's going to be hard to push them out of that position too. So for S Eagles, likely to catch up to Dagestan. So Dagestan's main job right now as this 2 is to make it up into a high positioning. It's another salvage game like we saw from them over on Sandhawk, but losing a player, not ideal.
Shifu now the last to stand for Dagestan. S-Eagle squad, the eyes are on them, fixed. On the south side of the compound, they've got Kanina Power and Brothers in Arms to worry about. Asia Mix in the meantime have Baban on the ropes, but Dennis and Overlay looking to try and suppress this position with more nades being popped on in. Keme gets the flush onto Baban, looks for the res onto Lost, should be safe.
Nomi goes looking for Shifu as well before he backs it off.
There it is.
In the same situation, I think the information had been passed back across. So Dagestan out was just 1 elimination and a 10th place, so no points accrued other than that elimination point. So big opportunity now for S Eagles. The door opens up for them.
A real big opportunity, you're right. Then to spread their wings and fly. Overlaid. Has a nade go in. Doesn't perturb him too much though. Spray down with the Bison. Has a roll up from the buggy. 777s up and in. Looking pretty wild from Keme there. The spray is good for 1. Shouldn't have gone down too much, but Dennis is there for the crossfire. Only the 1 player stays alive for Asia Mix, but that is enough. However, with the blue zone coming in this fast, they don't have a lot of time to get back together. And Matic, oh, you know how many points he's about to earn.
Yeah, it's a real open crossing as well for Asia Mix. So for them, this is an easy spray down. Matic does only have a little bit of ammo, so you do have Nomi coming across to supply him with a little bit more that he'll need for this big spray down.
Hits him with the 6x. Getting ready for it. Asia Mix, I feel like they're going to know that their numbers are. The question is, do they go down to Team Spirit or to the Eagles, right? Because the Eagles should have sightlines over towards this as well. If they can pick up the points instead of Team Spirit, that is huge for their chase chances, right? They're on 158 points right now and 3 eliminations, which puts them on 161. There's the first onto Lost for the Eagles. The second knock onto Keme goes through for Kitsune. And there's the spray down over towards 777. Who's going to pick this one up? I think the Eagles might just have it and be able to add another point in.
777 moves up towards the compound, but so much shots and fighting, and already as a nade's being cooked over towards him. Not quite on target though. One goes a little bit closer, but the airbursts aren't great for us Eagles.
OG goes long. Don't think they know exactly where he is. Team Spirit, they're back up to holding this northwest side. Does King have a route up the cliff on that northwest edge? I don't think so. Has Matic gone hunting? Has he jumped down into the water?
It's so annoying because 777, that was an unreal nade he was about to throw versus a massively grouped up squad there from S Eagles. Cooks the thing way too long.
Nothing really happening now. The circle is the go time for a lot of these teams.
S Eagles trapped in what we would say is a pretty enclosed space, so nades could be really big, and Kanina Power has great sightlines on the run out. Eastland moves over towards that north side, which is further inside the circle, but they'll have to leave, with Kanina Power still being able to hold onto their compound. Eastland does provide a nice little bit of an anchor point for the rest of the team to cross over towards.
The fractured cooling tower on the northeast side, it will cover a little bit, but in general, you can't play that super effectively. So a lot of dead ground that's slap bang in the middle of this circle. It's really going to be looking to these ridgeline plateaus that sit around the side. And I think that at the moment, actually, Farvoice don't have a terrible chance of being able to make it. King, oh, okay, yeah, Matic didn't actually go on out there. Wasn't getting too crazy with it. Ooh. Little spelunking in the buggy. That's a little bit dangerous, but thinks better of it. Gets over to a better position. This is that plateau, that ridgeline that I was talking about, that Team Spirit can start to extend on the east side if Farvoice Gaming don't take control of it first.
Oh, nice shots from Matic, actually, all the way across towards S Eagles. Again, that warehouse door is so open. Might be providing that information back across the rest of the team, but drops that smoke there now. No one knows he needs to reposition. Shockwave Wandu.
There's 4 solos and 1 duo. There's actually only 2 teams at full force. The Eagles and Kanina Power. Kanina Power have the rooftop high grounds. He's just trying to get as much juice out of that orange as possible on the roof. Peeks out the side. Silence. He's giving them the run around, but has to tuck back in there. Perks a little bit low on ammo.
Shockwave,
Wandu takes a shot. That's up towards Minotox, who was on the high ground, I think. But Wandu's position is known now. Trying to cover the cross. They hop out. There's one knock. They roll it. Rolex rolls himself over. That is really bad news, but they do get to cover and a little bit more time now to play with. So look for that res. A slow up and a crash. I'm not really sure how Rolex managed to make that happen, but there you are. Got to be careful.
Yeah, must jumped out of the vehicle, and the vehicle must have still had momentum. Difficulty thing for S Eagles is this door here is the only run out that they'll have going into the late game, because the blue's going to cut out the backside of this warehouse. So Kanina Power can just rain down fire into this compound. If they've got any nades, they'll be massive. I think Brothers in Arms are now down as well, so now they can fully focus on this position. Zero gets backed off though.
Zero down as well.
Good shots.
Wandu is out. That Shockwave eliminated. Now in 6th place, so not too many points earned, but still another small gap closed towards Dagestan. They are 9 points behind Dagestan moving into the last 2 matches now. But the Eagles, they've still got some room to play, even if it is starting to get smaller and smaller. Perks